Most people think power is something you take. You spread your arms, you widen your stance, you try to dominate the space. You are told to imitate an ape, a trophy, a conqueror on a hilltop. This is what the so-called experts sell, a performance, a mask of aggression you strap on before a meeting, a negotiation, a confrontation. It is a lie. The first secret they do not want you to know is this: true power is not taken, it is held. It is not loud, it is quiet. It is not about filling space, but about being so utterly comfortable in your own that the space itself bends to you. They teach you to force confidence. This is the power paradox. Forced confidence is fragile. It is a facade that cracks under the slightest pressure, because you are spending energy on the performance instead of the moment. You are thinking about your pose, not the person in front of you. And they will sense it. They will see the strain behind your eyes, the tension in your shoulders that your widened stance cannot hide. Real power is calmness. Think of the deepest ocean. The surface may storm, but the depths are still, unmoved, and immense. That is where control lies. When you enter a room with manufactured bravado, you broadcast one message: insecurity. You are announcing that you feel the need to prove your worth. But when you enter with a still center, with a breath that is slow and deep, with movements that are purposeful but never frantic, you broadcast something far more unnerving: certainty. You do not need to prove anything. Your presence is the proof. The experts sell you tricks because tricks are easy to package. Stand like this for 2 minutes and you will feel powerful. It is a superficial fix. It addresses the symptom, not the cause. The cause is the storm inside, the chattering doubt, the fear of being exposed, the need for validation. Power poses are a battle cry against that storm. But calmness is the end of the storm. It is the clear sky that remains. Watch the truly powerful, not the loudest in the room, but the one the room watches. You will see economy, an economy of gesture, of word, of reaction. A slight tilt of the head conveys more than a sweeping arm. A steady, unblinking gaze holds more territory than pacing the floor. Their power is in their reserve, in what they do not do. They do not flinch at raised voices. They do not rush to fill a silence. They inhabit the silence. They let it work for them. This calmness is a fortress. It allows you to observe, to see the micro-tensions in the person performing for you, to notice the incongruence between their confident words and their tapping foot. While they are busy projecting, you are busy perceiving. This is the core of the paradox. By stopping the effort to look powerful, you begin to embody it. Your body language stops being a series of commands you give to your limbs and becomes a simple, authentic reflection of a settled mind. Your shoulders drop from your ears. Your jaw unclenches. Your hands rest easily, not clasped in a grip of artificial control. This is not weakness. This is readiness. A coiled spring is still. It does not shake. It waits. And because it is still, when it moves, the movement is devastatingly effective, precise, and true. They do not want you to know this because it cannot be sold in a 3-step formula. It must be built. It is built in the dark, quiet hours before the challenge. It is built through mastery of your own fears, through the cultivation of a mind that sees threat as data and chaos as a puzzle to be solved. Your posture then becomes the echo of that inner architecture. You are not posing as a rock, you have become the rock. The wind howls around it. It does not care. So forget their expansive, demanding stances. Do not try to look big. Strive to feel solid. Ground yourself. Let your weight settle. Breathe into your center and watch. The room will change. The dynamic will shift, not because you threatened it, but because you are unshakable within it. That is the secret they fear you learning. That is how you become the most powerful person in any room. The face is a mask, a good one. We have spent a lifetime training it, to smile on command, to show concern when it's expected, to smooth over anger, to fabricate interest. It is a masterpiece of conscious control, a diplomacy of muscles. Your hands, too, can be brought to heel. You can steeple them to project thoughtfulness. You can open them to feign honesty. You can keep them still to show restraint. These are the instruments. You have learned to play, but there is a deeper truth. A truth anchored to the ground, rooted in the core of your being. You cannot lie to gravity. You cannot lie to instinct. The second secret is this: your feet and your belly, they do not lie. While your face performs and your hands gesture, your foundation and your center are reporting the truth in real time. They are the truth anchors. The mind is a strategist. The heart is a conflicted advisor. But the body, in its ancient animal wisdom, knows only survival, attraction, and aversion. It knows what it wants and what it fears, and it broadcasts this from the ground up. Start with the feet. They are the first part of you to decide. Before you consciously formulate a thought to leave, your feet have already pointed toward the door. In a negotiation, across a table, a person may lean forward, offering a smile and agreeable words, but if their feet are turned away, pivoted toward the exit, they have already voted. They have already checked out. The direction of the feet is the direction of genuine intent. They point to safety. They point to desire. They point to where the person truly wishes to go, even if the rest of them is performing politeness. A person engaged, truly aligned with you, will have both feet planted or pointed towards you. It is a subtle commitment of their entire architecture. When the feet shift, the intention has shifted. Watch them in a group. See who the feet favor. It is a clearer map of alliance than any spoken agreement. Then the torso, the belly, the core. This is where your instinct lives. It is your center of gravity, and it is guarded above all else. We protect it instinctively. We cross our arms not simply because we are cold or closed off, but because we are creating a barrier over this vulnerable center. A person who is open, who trusts, who agrees, will unconsciously expose their torso to you. They will lean in. They will not flinch if you reach across them. But watch for the subtle lean back. Watch for the slight turn of the shoulder, creating a blade, a narrower profile. It is a retreat. It is a block. It says you are not welcome here. Your idea is not safe here. You can see it in a tense meeting. Someone will be nodding, saying, "I understand," while their chair rolls back 3 inches. Their torso tilts away. Their words are engagement. Their core is in retreat. The signal is one of profound incongruence. The face is saying yes. The belly is screaming no. This is the critical flaw in reading only the face. You are reading the billboard, not the foundation. A con artist will have a convincing smile. A negotiator with a hidden agenda will have perfectly calibrated eye contact, but their foundation will betray the tension. The feet may be locked, ankles tense, in a posture not of groundedness, but of readiness to spring. The torso may be held too still, too rigid, not calm but armored. The natural fluid congruence of a truthful person, where the face, the hands, the torso, and the feet all tell the same story. That is absent, replaced by a performance from the waist up, and a tense hidden truth from the waist down. So you must learn to listen with your eyes to this deeper language. Do not be distracted by the show above the table. Look below it. See where the feet are rooted and where they wish to flee. Sense the orientation of the core. Is it open or is it turning to shield itself? This is the raw data, unfiltered by social nicety. When the words say one thing but the truth anchors say another, you are not dealing with a lie. You are being shown a conflict, and in that conflict you find the leverage point, the fear, the true desire. For yourself, the lesson is the same. To be authentic, to be powerful, you must align your anchors. Plant your feet with purpose. Let your center be open when you mean yes, and allow it to turn when you mean no. Do not let your smile betray the retreat in your soul. The most terrifying, the most persuasive presence is a congruent one, where every signal from the ground to the eyes tells the same unwavering story. That is how you see the truth they never speak. Now we move to the space between people, the invisible current that connects or fails to connect one human being to another. The experts will tell you about mirroring. They will give you a cheap trick. Copy the other person's posture and they will like you. This is a mechanical act, a pantomime. And like all poor imitations, it can be sensed. It feels like manipulation because you become an echo, a ghost, and people distrust ghosts. But there is a real phenomenon here, far more profound. It is not something you do. It is something that happens. The third secret, synchrony. When two people are truly connecting, not performing, not negotiating, but genuinely understanding one another, their bodies begin to converse on a frequency below words. Their breathing rates will subtly align. The rhythm of their gestures will begin to match, not in a mocking way, but in a dance. One leans forward, the other meets them. A head tilts in curiosity, the other reflects it a moment later, unconsciously. This is not mimicry. It is harmony. It is the unconscious litmus test for trust, and it cannot be faked with intention. Think of it as two pendulums placed on the same wall. They may start swinging out of phase, but through the shared vibration of the wall itself, they will eventually fall into perfect, mirrored rhythm. That shared vibration is genuine empathy. It is the act of truly listening, not just to the words, but to the emotion behind them. When you are fully present, your own internal monologue quiets. You are not planning your next sentence. You are not judging their words against your agenda. You are receiving them. And in that state of reception, your own biology begins to resonate with theirs. This is the secret they omit. The goal is not to create synchrony. The goal is to create the conditions for it to occur naturally. The condition is authentic, focused presence. When you achieve that, the synchrony is a byproduct, a symptom of real connection. And it is a force multiplier for influence. Because in that state, you are no longer two separate entities pushing agendas. You are temporarily a system. And within a system, ideas flow with less resistance. Persuasion is not a battle. It is a collaborative current. Observe two people in deep R. A port. You will see it. A sip of water taken in unison. A leg crossed at the same moment. It is subtle, fluid, and effortless. Now, observe someone trying the mirroring technique. The timing will be off. Just a half beat too slow, too obvious. It will feel like a parody. The other person's subconscious will register it as a threat, a kind of social theft, and they will pull back. Their own body will become slightly more rigid, breaking the very rhythm the manipulator is trying to force. The power here is not in controlling the dance, but in being a skilled and sensitive enough partner to follow its natural flow. It requires you to surrender the need to lead every moment, to be still enough, calm enough, to feel the rhythm of the other person, and allow yourself to match it. Your breath is the first key. Match their breathing not by force, but by letting your own respiration deepen and slow to the pace of the conversation. This one act, done with a focus on calm listening, does more to build unconscious alliance than any copied posture. They don't want you to know this because it transfers power from technique to character. It says that the ultimate tool for building trust is not a trick, but a quality, empathy. It is not something you do to someone. It is a state you achieve with someone. In a world that sells quick fixes and psychological hacks, the admission that deep influence requires genuine human connection is bad for business. So forget deliberate mirroring. Do not try to ape another person's gestures. Instead, strive for a profound level of attention. Listen to their words, but also to the cadence of their speech, the rise and fall of their energy. Let your own body relax into the conversation. The synchrony will emerge on its own. It will be authentic, undetectable, and far more powerful. When you see that subtle dance begin between you and another, you will know you are no longer being heard. You are being understood. They sell you a microscope for the soul. They promise that if you can just see the flicker of a muscle, the tiniest fleeting spasm in the face, lasting a mere fraction of a second, you will know the truth. You will see the lie before it is fully spoken. They call them micro-expressions, and they have built an industry around this idea that deception is a lightning strike you can catch if only you are fast enough. This is a beautiful, seductive lie. It is the fourth secret. Micro-expressions are a red herring, a distraction. They are the glitter they throw in your eyes so you miss the landscape. In the sterile lab, under controlled conditions, with a high-speed camera and a subject feeling a sudden primal emotion, perhaps you can isolate them. But in the real world, in a crowded room, with shifting light, with the normal constant flow of expression that crosses a human face, it is noise. Pure, unreadable noise. Your target is tired. They had a strong coffee. They are remembering an argument from this morning. Their face will flicker, and you will ascribe meaning to a random twitch, leading yourself down a path of total fiction. The truth is not found in a 25th of a second. The truth unfolds over time. It builds. It tells a story. You are not looking for a single frame of film. You are looking for the entire scene. The secret is not the micro-expression. It is the cluster. A single signal is a word. It can mean anything. A crossed arm can mean coldness, comfort, or simply that the armrest is broken. A lean-back posture can mean disagreement, relaxation, or back pain. A micro-expression of contempt could be a memory, a sour taste, or genuine disdain for what you just said. Isolated, it is meaningless. A puzzle piece with no picture on the box. But a cluster is a sentence, a paragraph. It is the congruence of 2, 3, or more signals that all point to the same emotional state, held for several seconds. This is where the body's true confession lies. It is in the pattern, not the particle. Look for the story. Do not watch the eyes alone. Watch what the entire body is narrating. A person says they are excited about your proposal. Their words are positive. Their face is smiling. A micro-expression hunter might miss it. But you see the cluster. You see the smile that does not reach the eyes. The skin around the eyes remains still, uncrinkled. You see the hands, which should be open and moving with that excitement, instead tucked under the table, or wrapped tightly around a pen. You see the feet, planted firmly, not bouncing with energy, but rooted as if bracing for impact. That is a cluster. That cluster tells the real story. Anxiety, not excitement. Politeness, not endorsement. The experts focus on the micro-expression because it is cinematic. It is the stuff of television drama. It makes you feel like a human lie detector, gifted with supernatural sight. But it sets you up for failure. It makes you jump at shadows. In your quest to catch the uncatchable flicker, you become twitchy, paranoid, your own attention fractured. You are no longer present. You are a scanner, and a poor one. The power, the calm, observational power, comes from widening your lens, from seeing the whole person in context. A genuine smile is not just a movement of the mouth. It is a symphony. The eyes engage, the cheeks lift, the head may tilt slightly, the shoulders may rise, the body may lean forward. It is a coordinated event across the entire physical system. A lie, or concealed discomfort, is almost never a perfectly coordinated event. There will be a disconnect. The mouth says one thing, the torso says another. The words flow, but the gestures are STI. Fled or mismatched. This is not a split-second tell. This is a state of being. It lasts. It is observable. They do not want you to know this because it is less sexy. It requires patience. It requires the calm stillness we spoke of, the ability to observe without immediately judging. It requires you to track multiple data points over time and discern the pattern. This is not a trick. It is a discipline. It cannot be learned in an afternoon. It is honed in 1,000 interactions. By learning to quiet your own mind and truly see the other person, not as a puzzle to be cracked in an instant, but as a story being told in slow motion. So ignore the flicker. Let it pass. Do not chase ghosts. Instead, watch for the convergence. Watch for the chorus of signals that sing the same tune. When the face, the hands, the feet, and the posture all begin to tell the same consistent story over 5, 10, 15 seconds. That is not an anomaly. That is the truth revealing its shape. That is how you see what is really there. We have all seen it. The fidgeting suspect in the interrogation room. The darting eyes of the child with a hand in the cookie jar. The common knowledge is clear. Liars fidget. They cannot look you in the eye. They betray themselves with nervous energy. Once again, common knowledge is a trap. It is a shallow truth, designed for the lazy observer. Fidgeting is not the signal of deception. It is the signal of stress, and stress has 1,000 fathers. Anxiety, excitement. fear of being disbelieved even when telling the truth. An innocent person, wrongly accused, will fidget. Their eyes may dart as their mind races to defend themselves. To mistake stress for guilt is the first and greatest error. So if not fidgeting, then what? Where does the lie truly live in the body? The fifth secret lies in the mismatch, the disconnect between the channel of words and the channel of the body. The giveaway is not in the presence of nervous energy, but in the unnatural suppression of it. It is in the performance of normalcy. The lie is not in the leak, but in the dam. A truthful person is congruent. Their emotional state, be it excitement, anger, frustration, joy, flows through their entire system with a natural, if sometimes messy, harmony. Their words carry a certain energy, and their gestures match that energy. They talk about a thrilling idea. Their hands rise, their body leans in, their face animates. It is one event. The deceiver is faced with a profound engineering problem. They must construct a reality that does not exist. They must manage two parallel streams of information, the false story they are telling and the true feelings they are concealing, usually fear, guilt, or contempt. The conscious mind is allocated to the narrative. It is crafting sentences, monitoring your reaction, staying consistent. This is a massive cognitive load. There is little bandwidth left to manage the body with the same creative attention. So, the body is not told to act. It is told to stop, to not give anything away. This is where you see it, not in the nervous tick, but in the rehearsed naturalness. The gestures that are too perfect, the illustrative hand movements that feel like they are on a delay, arriving a half beat after the word they are meant to emphasize, because they were consciously added in post-production. The smile that appears and vanishes on cue, rather than fading naturally. The posture that is held too still, too erect. Not the calm stillness of power, but the rigid stillness of a statue, of a guard standing at attention. It is a packaged authenticity. It feels airbrushed. Watch the energy flow. A person recounting a true, passionate memory will often get lost in it. Their gaze may go distant as they access the feeling. Their G's, ters, may become erratic, imperfect, as the emotion drives them. But a person reciting a fabricated story is often hyper-present, their eyes locked onto yours, not with connection but with surveillance, monitoring your buy-in. Their gestures are often neat, confined, and perfectly illustrative. I went this way, they say, with a clean, horizontal hand gesture. It is a diagram, not an expression. This is the core of the deception giveaway, the unnatural segregation of channels. The voice says one thing, but the body's natural, emotional rhythm is absent, replaced by a managed, sanitized performance. The truth is holistic. A lie is a compartmentalized operation. The body, stripped of its natural conductor, either locks down into rigidity or, if the stress is too great, produces those classic leakage gestures, not of the lie itself, but of the immense effort to contain it. A hand might briefly flutter to cover the mouth after a false statement, not because the mouth lied, but because the body is reacting to the internal pressure of the performance. They do not want you to know this because it complicates the fairy tale. It means you cannot simply look for shifty eyes. You must become a student of human expression in its truthful, messy, authentic state. You must know what genuine passion looks like, what real anger moves like, what true contemplation settles like. Only then can you spot the hollow replica. The forgery is only visible next to the original. So do not hunt for guilt. Do not look for the twitch. Instead, feel the rhythm of the person. Listen to the energy in their voice. Is it high, low, agitated? Then look at their body. Is it moving with that same energy? Or is it out of sync? Is it too clean, too still, too perfectly choreographed? Is the natural human messiness absent? That sterile, controlled performance, that mismatch between the heat of the story and the temperature of the body, that is the void where the truth should be. That is how you spot the fiction in the performance. After all this, the feet that point to truth, the synchrony of real connection, the clusters, the mismatches, There is one final secret, the most important one, the one that renders all the others into mere tools rather than wisdom. They will sell you these secrets as a means to see through others, to gain advantage, to decode the world around you as if it were a machine to be hacked. This is the ultimate misdirection. The sixth secret is this: it is about reading yourself first. You cannot hope to interpret the silent language of others if you are deaf to your own. Your body is not just a receiver, it is a broadcast tower, and the signal originates in the deep, often uncharted caverns of your own mind. Every gesture, every tension, every unconscious lean is a messenger from your inner state. Anxiety broadcasts a tight jaw and shallow breath before you even feel the conscious fear. Arrogance puffs the chest and stills the hands long before the boastful word is chosen. Insecurity shuffles the feet and offers a limp hand, a plea for validation you may not even know you are making. The experts sell you external focus because it is easier. It makes the other person the puzzle. It turns interaction into a hunt. But this is a fragile, reactive way to exist. You become a weather vane, spinning to every gust of hidden wind, trying to predict storms in others while standing in the middle of your own. The true power, the unshakable foundation, comes from turning that observational lens inward, from becoming the calm at the center we spoke of, not by posing, but by knowing. When you know your own tells, you master them. You feel the first flush of irritation as a heat in your neck, and you choose to breathe it into stillness before it becomes a clenched fist or a cutting word. You sense the quickening of your pulse when challenged, and instead of letting it hijack you into aggression, you channel it into focused clarity. You recognize the subtle lean back of your own disengagement in a conversation, and you ask yourself why. Is it the person or the topic? Is it boredom, or is it a genuine intuitive warning you've been ignoring? Your body is your earliest warning system. It speaks in the dialect of sensation, long before your thoughts assemble into sentences. This is the foundation for everything else. The calm, centered presence that allows you to observe clusters without panic. It comes from a practiced inner stillness. The authentic empathy that generates true synchrony, it flows from a self-awareness that leaves room to fully absorb another person. The ability to spot incongruence in others, it is sharpened by the daily practice of seeking congruence within yourself. How can you detect a lie in another if you are constantly lying to yourself about your own anger, your own fear, your own desires? Your perception will be clouded by your own unresolved noise. They do not want you to know this, because it is the end of their product line. It is not a trick. It is a discipline, a lifelong practice. It means sitting in silence with your own discomfort. It means interrogating your own impulses, not to condemn them, but to understand their origin. It means aligning your actions with your genuine intent, so that your body language ceases to be a strategy and becomes a simple, honest reflection of who you are and what you want in that moment. This congruence is the most powerful signal of all. It is terrifyingly persuasive because it is utterly without conflict. There is no seam to unpick, no mismatch to exploit. So begin here, not with the eyes of the person across from you, but with the feeling of your own feet on the ground, the rhythm of your own breath in your chest, the set of your own shoulders. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now? And is it what I choose to say? Cultivate that inner witness, the one who sees the storm of feeling without being swept away by it. As you do, a shift will occur. You will stop trying to read people and simply begin to understand them. The signals will become clear, not because you have memorized a chart, but because you have become quiet enough to hear the whole song. The ultimate secret is not about seeing through the masks of others. It is about having no mask of your own to see through.